We are getting started. Hello, everybody. It's Rich, and I'm here with Chris, and this is the interview of the Joplin Four States Area Networking Connection. So I want to tell everybody thanks for swinging by and taking a look. And I've got before we get too far into this, I need to go into my disclaimer. So and for the record, we are nor or ever will be giving legal, investment, or health advice on this channel. Our opinion are our own. And if you need those services, you should seek competent advisors in those fields. This information is presented for entertainment purposes only. You have been warned. And the whole idea behind this group is like Zig Ziglar quote, you can get everything in life you want if you will just help enough other people get what they want. And that's kind of my goal in this, is to help other people. And I'm going to be honest with you. I have an awesome group of friends, and everybody else needs to know about my awesome group of friends. So that's really what we're doing here today. And so I'm here with Chris. You might recognize Chris. He is one half of the team of the Joplin REIA, but he has a full-time business besides the Joplin REIA. I mean, that's two full-time businesses right there. But I will let you tell everybody a little bit about your day job, Chris, and then we can go into some of these questions that I have.
Thank you, Rich. And I want to stop for just a moment and thank you for what you're doing, because I know it takes a lot of time to put these together, to network with people. And so thank you for having me on, and thanks for what you're doing.
No, I thank you. I appreciate it. It's a lot of fun though. As much work as it is, I am having a blast doing it, and I think it's going to be fun long term for everybody to kind of see, because in a year or two we can all look back on these, and when we do the next one, the new one, and see how things have improved.
Right. So I don't like talking about myself a whole lot, but so I do run the Chris Forsythe agency. Our office is in Pittsburgh, Kansas, and we service basically Missouri, Kansas. We dip down into Oklahoma, Arkansas, and we do have a business in Texas. So we do some business in Texas as well. But my agency's actually been in the area since 1947. So it's been here on the Broadway Street area. I think this office was built in like 1967. So it's been around a while. And so what we're doing is trying to come in and put some more, technology behind it, find different ways to acquire business. And a lot of that is just networking and referrals. And so we try to do a great job for our clients and our referral clients as well. And so what we do is we provide insurance services, mostly on the P&C side. We do a lot of property and casualty, and we do a lot for new home buyers. And then we work also with the property investors, the guy buying his first or second deal. And then we work a lot with the guy that has some portfolios and a lot of assets to protect as well. So that's kind of our niche and kind of where we focus. We do a lot of auto insurance too, but really where we focus is on the property and the single and multifamily homes.
And how did this start? How did you get into this particular business?
Yeah, so that's interesting. So I spent, I think in 2000, I started working for a company, manufacturing facility. I was there 17 years, spent 17 years there, left as a supervisor. But I spent a lot of time. I got my business degree while working there. And I started thinking, there's got to be something I can do to try to bring more value. I felt like my job was a value add job. I did a lot of work with other people. I enjoyed working with people, but I'm like, I think there's more out there for me to do personally. And so I actually had a friend in insurance invited me to come on as a producer for her, and did that, got my feet wet. And then with that, as you say, the Zig Ziglar quote, when you put yourself out there and start looking at new opportunities, more opportunities are going to come your way. And so this position was offered to me in Pittsburgh to buy out this agency. And so in 2017, I actually took that leap, purchased it, and actually quit my 9-to-5 and went into business for myself.
Awesome. So you went from corporate to now doing the dirty work yourself.
Yeah.
So and how long have you been doing this now? Is this
So I purchased this office 8/1 of 17. So I'm working on my about 4.5 years, 4.5. Yeah, right at 4.5. I guess 4.25. Yeah.
So let me do 1 second here. And And let's see. Sorry, I had to share. I tagged you on Facebook, by the way. So this is out there on our I tagged you in that Facebook video. So anyway, and what was your biggest issue getting started? Because I know that's kind of like everybody has these hurdles, and some are bigger than others, and some, I'll be honest, some we think are big, but they're really not.
Yeah, that's a good question. And there's so many. So when you leave a job where you have the support of, your IT department, your maintenance department, you have all the support, and then you go out on your own, you suddenly realize you are that IT guy starting out. You are the maintenance guy. You are the PR. You are the marketing department. You're all of that. And then building off that, hiring good team members and such. But really day one coming in going, oh, wow, a pipe broke. That's me.
Yeah.
Computer crashed. That's me. So that's probably something I probably underestimated going into. It's like, it's all me. And then finding a way to build a team up around that.
Awesome. Oh, and just so we're everybody on that's watching this, there's in the comments of wherever you're watching it, there's all the information for Chris, his bio and everything, and links to get in contact with him. Also, there's the links to the different groups that we're starting. So you can go on there and join those groups, because this is kind of where we want the repository of people to go. If you're looking for some person who's skilled like Chris, who has information, you feel like comfortable with reaching out to him, that's where you're going to find that information. So,
right.
But that's kind of, and honestly, the REIA video, I'm going to link to that at the end of this, because that's a great resource that you guys handle. And I mean, so many people are benefiting from that stuff, not to mention what we're doing here, but it's crazy. So, so anyway, and then, sorry, I got off topic there.
That's okay.
Now, did anybody tell you that this wouldn't work?
So, I think the industry I chose, the insurance industry, people see it as pretty safe industry.
Right.
So yes, there were some that challenged my decision. But
I mean, when you're in that corporate structure, it's a lot different.
Yeah. So I had some close contacts, that asked me a lot of good questions, and some of them were really valid questions, like, well, is it going to work? Have you thought of this, thought of that? And it really challenged my mindset going into it. At the same time, I'm like, well, I've done it. I'm jumping in. I'm not going to look back. And it's been a whirlwind of 4 years. I mean, it's went fast, but I've made a lot of good friends, a lot of good contacts in that time. And there's a lot of people out there to help you.
Yeah, and I think that's great that you had people, because there's I think two ways to say it won't work. Is one is to just come out and say, man, there's no way I wouldn't do that if my life depended on it, versus, hey, have you thought about these things? Right. Mm-hmm. I mean, these are things that you might want to evaluate. I mean, those are, and I think there's a difference when you're talking to people on which way you get that question, or
you're right.
How it's phrased.
Yeah, you're absolutely right.
So, and then, do you love what you do now?
Yeah. And it seems like, we are transitioning a little bit more towards properties and such, with the Joplin REIA and some stuff we're looking to buy and have bought. But yes, I love collaborating with other people like we're doing today. I find it really a value add on both sides. A lot of times we may come into a conversation thinking we don't bring a lot of value. But by the end of the conversation, if we can leave something for that person, and I know the people that I talk with daily, there's always some value that I get out of our conversations. So I think that to recap all that, I just love the collaboration, and I love what I do.
Awesome. Yeah, I think, and I think that shows when you go out and talk to people. Mm-hmm. They can see that you're fully invested, right? That's really what it's about. So,
right.
So if someone watching wanted to follow a same career path, would you recommend doing it the same way, or is there a better way that hindsight being what it is, like what would you advise somebody? Would it be go corporate and then go this, or?
And so that's a good question. And it really challenges my thought process, because I wouldn't tell someone not to take a leap and take a risk. I think that more people should. And I try to encourage that when I talk to people. I think it depends on the situation, what's your home life like? Who's depending on you? What does your current network look like? There's so many aspects to it. So building a network, like maybe you're in corporate right now. Well, maybe building a network before you take that leap would really fast track you into a leap such as I took. So it depends. It's so much, personal. So like what's your current situation? The younger folks can take more of a risk because they may not have as, the house payment and the car payment and the
Right.
kids at home waiting on them, so they can take a bigger risk than maybe someone at my age when I took the leap could take.
Yeah, us old people, you get nervous.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, really, there's
Yeah.
your whole life savings is laying out there, and you kind of try to keep it.
Right.
So, and then, what do you need help with now? So, anybody watching it's out there and saying, I kind of like Chris. He seems like a nice enough guy. I'd like to help him. What would they need to do to help you?
Yeah. So there's so much and there's so much out there. It's really, I want to be able to provide a good service for others. And so really it's, in the insurance industry, we look at quotes per day. How many quotes did we run? Well, letting us take a look at your risk, it may be your small business, it may be your home, letting us take a look at it and see what value we can bring you. As far as this podcast that we're doing today on the insurance, side of things, that's probably number one, is just see if we can bring value to each other and work together. See if we're a good fit for each other. And so bringing us your risk, having us take a look at it, that's a really, really good thing. And then just referrals. So I try to connect other people, and the same thing, if you like, our business, my staff, me, referring us to other people is probably the number one thing you can do for us.
I agree. Referrals are huge. I mean, because
Mhm.
it's I ask for them all the time. I mean, it's something when I was young in sales, I was embarrassed. Like, I can't even. But now I'm like, man, I busted my butt for you,
Yeah. Yeah.
And most people realize it too. I mean, if they've had one or two other agents, whatever that agent is set up for, they know when they get good service.
Right. You're absolutely right.
So, and then, do you have a mentor?
Yeah. So 2022 is coming, and I'm ready to plan that. I started, but next a week from now, 2 weeks from now, I go down for a day and I actually start planning pretty hard. And so back to that, I listen to a lot of podcasts. I read books. I have not actually taken on an official mentor. And so that is what I'm looking at for 2022. Is that a leap I want to take?
Yeah.
Right now it's the people around me. So I have some people that I rely on to bounce ideas off of to make sure I stay in check, and then podcasts and books.
Right. Now, I guess since you don't have one, I'll modify the question. How are you going to find them? This mentor.
Yeah. So
that's a real tough one, man. I mean, that is like, unless somebody goes, hey, look, I'll do it for $2,000 every 2 months or whatever. I mean, I've seen those people and I'm like, I don't know that you're worth that.
Right. So, I want someone that has high morals and ethics, of course. I look at, I get up early and start really early. And maybe being able to connect with me earlier in the day may be better for both of us, but really how they live is it kind of a practice what you preach type scenario. So I've started kind of looking, but as I look for it, I want to make sure that it's someone that will challenge me, help me set some pretty high goals, and then also has high morals and ethics and practice what they preach.
Well, that's the thing. Do you write down your goals and stuff? This is even a separate. I don't usually ask too many people about their goals, but since you mentioned, I'm going to go there. How do you do your goal stuff? Your setting?
Yeah. So I do a Sunday planning. So I plan my week on Sundays,
okay.
And I also look at and reflect on my past week on Sunday so that I can make any adjustments. So I actually keep them in the Google Drive, so Google Docs.
Okay.
And I just do it week on week on Sunday evenings.
And then do you do like you have your yearly goal, like you want to achieve this much and whatever it is?
Mm-hmm. So I have those set, and then I just kind of break it down per week.
Per week. So yeah, right. That's a good way to do it, because I've done it both ways, and really the only way to stay accountable is, do it out by week, because otherwise I find myself like 3 months left going, oh man, I got to do all this,
Right. Right. I
So,
know. Yeah.
but no, I think that's goals are huge. I mean, I can't tell you, I set mine at ridiculous numbers, and first time I went into the office in Gardner, and I had this thing, I was going to sell $17 million in real estate, my first year, and they're like, that's ridiculous. You can't even. And I was like, yeah, but what if I only get a third of that?
Right.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I like it.
So,
I like it.
mean, I was totally willing to go get a third.
Yeah. Yeah.
If that's all I got, well, I'm just going to be that much of a failure and keep going.
Right.
So,
I like it. I like the mindset.
yeah. So, anyway, and I guess, how can people get a hold of you if they need to?
Right. So I try to be open. So is my team. So our office is 620-231-6460. If it's insurance, immediate, or I want to schedule an appointment. The other way is email. So chris@chrisforsythe.com. But we're so active. We try to stay active on almost every platform. We may not post to every platform, but we try to stay active so that we're easily accessible. So if I can't get to you, I've got a small team of people here that can. So we love scheduling appointments. We love coming out and looking at the risk. Actually, we love coming on site. So any chance I get to get out of the office and get out to a business, I love it. That's what I want to do.
I understand that.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you for your time today. If then again, everybody, the comments in the description, everything is in there. So if you need to reach out to Chris's email and all the other contact information, I think a link to the website as well. So, any final thoughts before we let everybody go today, Chris?
No, I like leaving someone. I do a podcast, and I like leaving somebody with a small nugget. And really, it's show up every day. I can't stress the fact enough. We may be tired. Just show back up. Consistency will win. And I'm still a small business, still growing. I'm still learning as I go, but I do my best to show back up the next day. And so I believe in consistency.
I have to remind myself that it takes heat and pressure to make diamonds.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So I'm just clearly not have enough of that. So, I mean, just looking at this, need some more pressure and heat. So,
yeah.
So anyway, well, hey, I thank you for your time today.
Thank you, Rich.
Thanks everybody. Don't forget to like and share the groups. And we'd love to have all your friends. If they want to be involved in something like this, or you yourself want to, be sure to let us know. So thank you guys and have a great day.
Thank you.